How's it going, everyone? My name is True Wonder Dog, and today we're having an in-depth look at Sonya Blade. This character is just nuts, and I think we all know why. Her combo damage is crazy high, she has the 50-50 mix-ups, and worst of all, you can't even outzone her because her projectiles are also really good as well. So without any further ado, let's have a look at this character and see why she's so godlike. Starting off with the universal attack, so we have the short hops. Okay, punch is not the best. Ooh, the kick is fun. I like how that looks. That's awesome, she just flips through the air. It looks kinda goofy, but I kinda like it for that reason. What's her crouching stuff like? Ooh, that's a good down one. It's a really good down one. Though she's kinda cheating because she's firing a blast, but still pretty good. Down 3, pretty good. Decent range on it. Down 4. Oh wow, she shoots again. Sonya, you're just a big cheater. You can't use weapons on your normal attacks, what are you doing? But yeah, down 4 seems okay. How about this forward throw? I love her animations for this. Oh! Okay, so about jumping distance, not too bad. She can jump in, oosh, and get stuff done. That's not bad. Plus she does have normals that fly forward, so nothing to really worry about there. She can definitely close that gap pretty quickly and get those whiff punishes too. How's this back throw look? Oh, perfect for zoning, let's go. So now you can do these projectiles, and these are not bad projectiles either. How about the sweep? What's her sweep like? Okay. Pretty good range on it, and she low profiles, so it will crush certain high attacks. It'll avoid stuff. That's pretty good. The uppercut? Not the best uppercut, but you know what? That's okay because Sonya Blade has this. She has that crazy dedicated anti-air that's also her go-to combo extender. So if you do jump on Sonya, you might as well have written your will already because she's going to kill you now with 1 bar. So she doesn't really need a great uppercut, so it's okay. It'll still whiff under high attacks and punish for a crushing blow. It'll get the job done. She has better anti-airs, to be sure, so not a big deal. How about these jump-ins? Jumping 1 is not the best. It's okay. Jumping 2. Looks almost the exact same, but it's meaty. I can do it really early, and it still falls on the opponent, so that's nice. Seems like it might be a good air-to-air also. It does more damage too, so her better jump-in does more damage. That's good. That's always nice to have. Jumping kick. It's okay. It's not Baraka, but it's still a really good jumping kick. Great horizontal range, decent vertical range, it's an okay jumping kick. So it seems like Sonya has some very solid universal attacks. So next up, let's have a look at these attack strings. That's the most fun in this video, it gets me the most excited. -7, wow, she's actually minus on the first 2 hits. So she actually does want to finish it, that way she's safer. That's crazy. A lot of these strings, if she doesn't finish them, she's still minus, except for that one. She's minus no matter what on this one. But that makes sense, I believe that's her overhead, so you definitely should be punished for that. And that's the low option, I believe, so that's her 50-50. She has an actual 50-50 that's just ridiculous. It's super duper good. It's also a good whiff punish too. It's her go-to combo starter, and it's also a mix-up. It's really good. These 2 strings are why Sonya is good, make no mistake. This is what people love and hate her for, this crazy 50-50. The girl is playing Mortal Kombat X, she never really left. And this one right here is how you actually end combos. Though here's the actual full string, but you end with these last 3 and then special cancel it for the most part. Here she has a low starter, or she has some other follow-up. She has so many strings that I can't even map all of them. That's kind of frustrating. Well, you know what? For now, we're gonna go ahead and start off here. So we have target acquired. Okay, so that's her punish string. If you do something unsafe, she can do this and maybe cancel into something. That, get a little bit of damage. If she enhances it, she'll get a bit more. Ooh, kick you away. And now the crazy zoning begins. So she has that option. How about at ease? Was that a low? That is a low. Can I special cancel that last hit? I can. Wow, look at that. I did it wrong, but you totally can. So Sonya Blade is not only good at high level, but she's also a scrub killer, because she just has random lows for no reason that can special cancel. So good stuff. Spin the bar, more damage, and they're also still in the corner. Look at that. 25%, and it was effortless. Overwatch. Hey, that's the wrong game. So once again, this is why Sonya Blade is infamous. So, she has this, which starts off combos, or she has this, which still does decent damage. You can do this, go for her low, does decent damage, but she does have a built-in 50-50, and that's just crazy. If this lands, you get a crazy combo, but if they start blocking high, you go for the low. And just so you know, if you're fighting Sonya, you always want to block high. Don't crouch block because this overhead will just kill you. Like, no joke, if you're fighting a good Sonya player, it's 35% from mid-screen. In the corner, it's almost 50% if they know what they're doing. And then we have frontal assault. That seems like a fun string. I almost never see it. It seems like an okay hit confirm, But if Sonya doesn't knock you into the sky, she doesn't get those crazy damaging combos. Though in this variation you can actually cancel her second shot, so I can do it and then dash out of it. And a lot of players are actually good enough to extend the combo for that, so this could be a go-to hit confirm. But even so, I don't see it very often. I see this instead. And then we have Under Siege. Okay, mid, low. Nothing wrong there. It's got pretty abysmal range though. It only hits up close. So it doesn't seem like the best string. Maybe it's an okay hit confirm because you have all day to see, but I still wouldn't recommend this string. It seems like one of the more useless ones that she has. But she has so darn many, and all you really need is this one and this one. That's the mix-up. But let's go ahead and look at Hua. That's what we have next. So it's the same, only it's an overhead. So the 50-50s don't stop and end with that one string. It turns out this is also a 50-50, but at the end. And you are forced to block the mid. That's crazy. So you're forced to block the mid, and then you have an overhead or a low mix-up. That's pretty crazy. And I believe I can actually cancel this string too. Oh my gosh, I totally can. Can I do it in reaction? Oh, I can. If I have the corner, can I throw after that? Otherwise, I'm too far. But if I have the corner... Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. I never see any players really go for that, but it seems like it could actually be good. Not to mention I could just cancel it and go for my overheads too, so I could do this, and then go for that, or my lows, right? Because it recovers surprisingly quickly. Yeah, it's crazy. You could definitely do that. So it's a frame trap, or a throw setup, or it leads into her overheads. That's crazy. And then we have no backup. Okay, that's fun. That could be an easy way to end strings. It doesn't seem super useful. Could be a whiff punish, because she flies so far forward, so it does have that going for it. Or it could also be a combo extender, if the opponent's in the air and you're not quite as good yet. This could be a pretty good combo extender. Not too much to it though. And then we have Vedetta. As mentioned earlier, these first three are for corner combos. They're really, really good. And sometimes they're too low to actually special cancel if you time it wrong, so that fourth hit can still be useful in corner combos if they're a bit too low for this special cancel to land. And then we have Going Rogue. Yep, look at that, a low combo starter. Crazy, right? Sonya just has everything. Oh my gosh, a double low. And I believe she has some string that's paired up with this, so let me go ahead and remove some of these top ones so we can fit all the rest of her attack strings. She has so darn many. Alright, so here we go. The partner is called Last Patrol. So that's just a mid instead. So she has low, mid, mid, or she has low, low. So it's not really a mix-up per se, because you're going to crouch block anyway, but one of them is more of a hit confirm. If you get that whiff punish and you know you have it, you commit to this instead. You can't special cancel the final hit though. You can do that and get combo damage. So it seems like Last Patrol is for when you know you've nailed that whiff punish, you dial in the first two hits, special cancel it, and get a bit more damage, whereas Going Rogue is more of a mix-up. Bravo Zulu? What is that? Praise Lord Zulu? Oh yeah, that's one of her go-to ways to end combos. In fact, I messed up here. What you actually want to do is mash. However, you can't start mashing too soon. You have to wait until she starts throwing the opponent, otherwise it won't come out. Check it out. I'll mash early. Doesn't actually count. You have to wait for that clinch and then start mashing triangle. And she gets that follow-up. And that's how you want to end most of your combos. It does so much damage. It's ridiculous. However, that's finally it for Sonya Blade's attack strings, and as you saw, she has so many I couldn't even map all of them. And that's actually a first on this series, which is crazy because I've covered every single character, and none of them had so many strings that I couldn't map all of them. And that's crazy enough as it is, but even crazier still, Sonya Blade doesn't need half of these strings to be good. You could honestly get rid of half and she'd still be a really good character. But next up, let's have a look at her special moves. Alright, so first up we have Energy Rings. A fairly decent projectile by itself, it's a high attack, travels fairly quickly, so it's pretty good around this distance. If the opponent tries to advance on you with a button, this may catch them, and then if you enhance it, she fires too. And the second one hits mid, which means you can't actually duck under it, which is already good on its own. However, this move also crushing blows if only the second attack lands. And this can happen for any number of reasons. Maybe you just let go of block too soon and the second one catches you. Maybe you're trying to duck the first one and don't expect the second one and it catches you. Or maybe you're trying to jump over them and the second one happens to hit you on the way down. There are so many ways this second one could actually hit you, so it's a very likely crushing blow to have happen. But that's not it. In this variation, I can actually hold down the enhanced version and dash cancel out of it. This can be good for mix-ups on block, or even better, it actually leads to full combos. So not only does Sonya have crazy mix-ups, but in this build she also has very good hit confirms as well. And best of all, the enhanced version is also safe on block as well. It's only -4. So the opponent can't punish you for doing it. So it's honestly a bit too strong of a special move. It's fantastic for zoning, great for combos, has a crushing blow, it's just all around good. Quite easily one of the best projectiles in the game considering what all it can do. It's not the best on its own, but that meter burn version just makes it so darn good. And this projectile can also be done in the air as well, however it behaves a lot differently. It fires straight ahead, and it also has its own crushing blow if you enhance it. And honestly, this crushing blow has no reason to exist because not only is it super inconvenient to try and combo into it, but Sonya's standard combos do more damage without it anyway. So it might seem nice to have that crushing blow as an option, but you'll get more damage without it. However, one nice thing about this move is you can angle it downward when you enhance it. If you hold down after amplifying, you get a mid-hitting version that hits grounded opponents, so that is nice. There is one saving grace about this move. If you amplify it, it covers a very large portion of the screen, so it's still pretty darn good for zoning. And next up we have butt whooping. I can't call it the real thing, YouTube might get mad at me. This move is a decent damaging way to end your combos, especially from mid-screen, and it does switch sides. However, it's almost the perfect distance for your mix-ups, so you have your overhead or your low. You just gotta do a bit of a micro walk after landing it, so even though you don't want to switch sides most of the time, you're still at the perfect distance for that blender, so it's still really good. And then if you do want to spin the bar, they actually stay in front and you get more damage, so it's still pretty darn good. And that's honestly about it for that move, so next up let's talk about air control. This is Sonya Blade's go-to combo extender, and it's also a great anti-air. In fact, this move actually crushing blows on counter hit or as a punish. So in other words, if the opponent goes for a jump in, you can beat them with this and get even more damage. So on top of being a really good combo extender, it's also a really good anti-air as well. And then we have Leg Breaker, a very far-reaching and fast startup low attack. It seems really darn good. If you enhance it, you get a bit more damage and you switch sides. And the nice thing is you don't switch sides by default. So it can be a pretty good way to end combos if you want to keep that corner advantage. And this move will also crushing blow if the opponent is stand blocking, though I do believe it has to be done by itself, but let's go ahead and check that real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and have D'Vorah block here. Innocent D'Vorah, you know, never done nothing wrong, definitely never killed off a fan favorite character. So if I enhance it, boom, I get that crushing blow just because they were stand blocking. But if I try and combo into it, I don't believe it counts. Oh my god, it does! It does, it still counts. Oh my goodness, a lot of characters don't actually have this. Sonya does. So you're kidding me, oh my gosh. What was that string earlier? It was this, right? Ends in an overhead? So now I can just do this? Oh my gosh. A lot of characters don't have this anymore. So Cabal, for example, didn't get to have this. It had to be done by itself. Not Sonya. She can just get it, period. Wow, what a good crushing blow. My goodness, I underestimated this move. So this move's main job now is to get that very easy crushing blow, because the opponent's most likely going to be stand blocking because they're so scared of this overhead, because it leads to crazy combo damage, so of course they're going to be standing up. Wow, what a good move. What a good crushing blow to have. And then last but not least we have Cat Drop. This move is basically meant for zoning, and that's about it. It has several different distances. It has a close distance if I hold back. Actually, it lands on top of me. That's crazy, so I guess that's almost like if they're going to try to attack you, this can catch them for trying to hit you. By default, it hits right about here, which is still good. If I hold forward, it hits there, and if I hold up, is it full screen? Not quite. Not quite full screen, but almost. So it does have one tiny limitation, but this move just gives Sonya one more way to beat people with her zoning. And that's about it for the attack strings in this first variation. You may have noticed that nearly every single one has a crushing blow, so they're very good, and that also helps to explain why her attack strings didn't have any crushing blows. They're all just hiding in her special moves instead. So next up, let's have a look at this second variation. So first up we have the two counters. We have the low counter, which catches low attacks, and we have the standing counter, which catches everything else except for jump-ins. And keep in mind, normally a counter doesn't beat lows, so the fact that Sonya has a low counter is very strong and quite unique. And both of these counter moves have crushing blows that complement one another. If I land two standing counter attacks, then my low counter will crushing blow. If I land two low counters, then my standing counter will crushing blow. So these counters are already very good on their own, but the crushing blows just make them that much better. And last but not least, we have the air ops drop, a very good air throw that crushing blows when it lands by itself, which makes it a very good air-to-air. Sonya Blade says no. stay on the ground, the sky is where I live. And you can also enhance this move as well, so let me go ahead and do that. Oh, and it's a combo starter. Now unfortunately you do lose access to that crushing blow, and the combo afterwards also doesn't do very much damage, but I say if it wins the round, go for it. And that's actually it for this variation, not very much to it. And I wouldn't consider it a bad variation, the problem is the first build is just so darn good that I don't see many players actually go for this. The counters are pretty nice, but they don't start up instantly, so it can be a bit tough to actually time them, especially in a tense match. Not to mention you can no longer dash cancel out of her enhanced projectile, which means you do lose one of her best hit confirms, so that's also a bit of a deal breaker. Once again, I don't think it's a bad variation, the problem is the first build is just so darn good by itself. But please let me know your thoughts on Sonya in the comments down below. Many players consider her the best character in the game at the moment, but how do you feel about her? Do you think she's too good and should she be nerfed, and if so, how would you go about nerfing her? Please let me know down below. And then while you're down there, go ahead and leave a like if you enjoyed the video, really does help my channel out a ton. And finally, why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.